Afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. It's a pleasure to be back here again this year. And of course, this year, I'm most honored to have with me three very distinguished panelists here, starting with Dr. Kanit, who is a familiar face in the Eastern Economic Corridor world at the moment. He's the Secretary General of the Eastern Economic Corridor Office of Thailand. And I also have with me here Ms.Jareeporn, who is the Chairman and the Group CEO of WHA Corporation. And last but not least, Vichai, Mr.Vichai, who's the President of the Saha Pathana Interholding. So very happy to be here and to have all of you here on this very interesting topic that we're going to be discussing in the next 45 minutes, which is the rising opportunities in regional Thailand. And of course, if you talk about regional Thailand today, the Eastern Economic Corridor is probably on top of everyone's minds, of investors' mind, of economists like myself. We'd really like to know, Dr. Kanit, what's the progress so far? I mean, we hear a lot about the Eastern Corridor, which is one of the key pillars of the Thailand 4.0. But what actually is the progress in terms of infrastructure, in terms of the industries that are being promoted? Can you give us some concrete examples of progress that's been done so far?
Thank you. Thank you very much, Dr. Kirida. Actually, good afternoon to all distinguished guests. Many people who stay until this moment must be very distinguished and the one who really want to learn more what's going on here. Dr. Gig, I should say that during the past few years, I have been here to do the update. 2 years ago, I came here and said that we are in the process of doing the law and in the process of have the big investment plan. The plan is cover $50 billion US, including our investment in the next 5 years. That's what we have last 2 years. Last year I came here to say that the law has been finished. And then we are moving forward to do the infrastructure. That's the second phase we're talking about. At the same time, we do a sort of preparation and investment, those and this. Now, this year I would like to update it to you that the second phase for infrastructures has been almost completed. What I should say is that there will be four key projects. The first one is the high-speed train. The contract has passed the cabinet already, and then it's wait for signing. Probably early of next month, the first one. It's about, as I recall, the total investment should be around $6 billion US. And the other one is the deep sea port for the Maptaput deep sea port for the gas terminal. The contract has been finished past the EC committee. We just look forward to send to the cabinet and signing early of next year as well. That's what investment would be amount around $1 billion US. And the third one is the airport. That's a big project. The big project, this will be around $7 billion US. The
Utapao Airport.
Utapao Airport 3. And then we in the process of selecting the winner. Hopefully, we pass through the difficulties of the argument through the law to the discretion. The court has been give a good order to us, and we're gonna select the winner by the end, by not longer than 20 of next month or so. So $7 billion US should be passed. Lam Sabang is in the process as well. Lam Sabang port will be around $4 or $5 billion US. So totally of the investment on this phase, the second phase is about 16 to 18 billion US. All will be completed, get the concession, get the PPP by the end of next month. The project we have here is that it's called the PPP NP. My prime minister said that, okay, PPP is not PPP mean public-private partnership. Right. They said there must be a people including in that too, meaning that you have to prove wise that this project has been suited for the countries and suited to the people in the local area. So that's what happened. Anyway, by by next month or so, I think things will be passed. Total investment that we discussed last time has been upgraded from 1.5 trillion baht to be around 1.7 trillion baht by now, so that anything's come up in a new way. As I said, so we are then moving to the first phase is making the act and do the planning. The second one is do the infrastructure. The third one that we're going to start from now on, that has been going on for a while, is that do the industry investment. Yeah. And that's we need a lot of help from Minister of Industry, Minister of Commerce, those and this coming up in a good way. The target we set aside is that around 100 billion bahts a year. 100 billion bahts a year in the next 5 years. But surprisingly, what we have from when we start the EEC from January 2017 to now, to the middle of the year, there has been the requests of investment in that first S-curve and the second S-curve, those and this inside, 1,553 projects. The size of requesting for BOI promotion is 1.3 trillion baht already. That means I'm not starting my running yet, but that's come. So that in the same sense, my boss, Deputy Prime Minister Somkit, said that we have to revise the target, double the target that we aim to have. But that's in the future we're going to do. Anyway, this is the request, so that during the past 2 years when we start the EEC, the request for the investment has been jumped around 80% in the first year and 120% in the second year. A lot of investors are already interested in investing here. But anyway, the weak point of what you see as the data is that they cluster mainly on the first S-curve that's already there. The automobile, electronic, those and this. But the new S-curve is not yet start. They start something, but not in a big way. So that's our role to be. So we start talking with a lot of new technologies firm everywhere. So that's our jobs to be done. Now this is the second phase. The third phase we're going to do. Come back to the fourth phase again. If it happens that we can do this one in the next year and preparation for the next 5-year investment, the fourth category is the fourth phase that we're going to do is we're going to do what we call the new way of life, meaning that building the harmonious living in the EEC, meaning for the new city, the planning is already there. So education, public health care, environment, and advanced agriculture will be a part of the whole program that we're going to do. So that by the end of this year, we will announce all this kind, the third and the fourth in the big way. As I said, so we finish the second phase next month or so. Lastly, we do something. There has some 3 or 4 points we'd like to add in a short period of time. Sorry. The first one is the OSS, one-stop service. We're going to open the one-stop service, not the center, one-stop service software within the next month. Hopefully during the times we have the EEC policy committee on the 7th next month. This is the new light. The OSS that we designed has no place, has no personnel, but it just the link of the software to 21 agencies related. You need not to come to see me. You just click it and you can contact to us. We will be the center. And as a center, we will help. We pre-arrange with the light agency to make approval as we fix the times and everything. So that Kun Jun and Kun Si will the one who will the beneficiary to this. Hopefully we can start working. We test run next month or next month or so, but the real run will be the end of the month. Another 2 things is that we have the Eastern Airport City that's going to develop into the Eastern Aerotropolis. Tomorrow I'm going to sign the MOU with Zhengzhou. Zhengzhou, we call Zhengzhou Aerotropolis. Zhengzhou Aerotropolis has 5 runways and has a big transportation mechanisms. It's the aerotropolis, the most advanced aerotropolis in Asia. There has been work before us 5 years or so that we have a lot of things to catch up with them. The area around Utapao Airport, around 30 kilometers, cover from Pathana to Rayong, will be developed into the new called Aerotropolis, meaning that we have the new cities, we're going to have the new way of life, living around that one. We have to do this because otherwise, if you let the countries or the people in the area run wild, so the city will be disorganized. Smart city will be there, and the last one we just discussed with the Minister of digital economy. He came up with a plan to help EEC in a big way. First of all, the infrastructure in the EEC is the best in terms of the digital infrastructures. And we're going to test we have been testing the 5Gs now. And the last thing to do, they will do the what's so-called digital valleys at the ECD so that the project comes up. So that, again, we have 4 phases, 2 has been done, so the second 2 will come. Thank you very much.
Right. It was very interesting, Dr. Kanit. I just have a few questions that I would like to follow up with you. As you mentioned that, at the moment, the success is mainly in the 5 current S-curve industries which have taken interest in the Eastern Economic Corridor. Those are the ones that we're building upon what we're already good at, such as automotives, right, such as healthcare. But you were mentioning that the new S-curves are the ones that are not taking off in a big way yet, such as robotics or airplane maintenance and parts. What are the plans? Because you were mentioning that you would like to do more to step up in attracting more investments into the new S-curves. What are the plans that you have for attracting those?
Actually, it's the new industries that has been worked. The instrument that we normally use through the BOI, BOI meaning that you give the incentive for the producers, might not be enough. If you want to do the robotic, they will ask you how many robotic arms they can use in the local economy for the export. So that we have to working on the demand side as well, not only the supply side, but demand side as well. But the other things around that we force every investor or communicating with the investor is that every project that we approve and got the incentive, they has to come up with the package to train our Thai people to match to the new technology. So that the advance of the package we are working on. Then this times around, we have the EEC law. In the next phase, we're going to use the EEC law more to promote the investment of the new kind. We have been proved for a while that is the mechanisms that we have today might not be sufficient to do. Some of the new company, you don't have the tax to break, tax to have a deduction. Some of the time, you need some subsidy to the university, to the new technology, to the investment. That's to come up with the new instrument we're going to do.
I see. So there'll be more. There'll be more done, and also human resource issues will need to be addressed in that. Thank you so much. This is very interesting. But I just also want to hear from the private sector, who's actually in the area. So maybe I start with Ms.Jareeporn. WHA has industrial estates in the Eastern Economic Corridor. What has been your experience there? Are there actually really more interest in the Economic Corridor, as Dr. Kanit has mentioned? Please share your views.
Thank you. Good afternoon, distinguished guests. Right? And also, first of all, I would like to thank you, Dr. Kanit, who worked very hard for make EC happen. It's really important for Thailand. I always say like this. Since these 2 years, we faced with lots of investors, even though when I road show to other country, everybody always ask me about what happened, or what about EEC? Because previously, before we have EEC, Thailand lost opportunities about the competitiveness. For the FDI is gone, and also Thailand out of the investment or the world investment. But after we have EEC, we are in the map of the world investment right now. Why? Because you can see that as from the last section, there's Dr. Tony said that Thailand we lost about we not the low cost anymore, right? And you look in our country, right? Compared with in this regional, we are the best of the infrastructure. But in this 10 year, we do nothing. We don't invest in the we didn't invest in the big infrastructure. While the others, our neighbor, invested a lot, right? And we don't have the lower labor cost incentive anymore, right? And also the tax privilege was gone. So what is our competitiveness? And because of the Vichai group, we are doing the 4 business area. The first one is industrial estate. The second is logistic. For the industrial estates, we are like about the first one who we meet with about the investor for all over the world, right? So we also have we saw lots of problems, and we also send this message to the government. Please help. Otherwise, we cannot compete with our neighbor anymore. But right now, for the EEC, I can say that with about the privilege, anything for investment for 1.7 trillion Thai baht or like $5 billion US dollars something. That's mean, and everything about that for the new S curve, for the first S curve something, we can be. In my point of view, I strongly believe that we win in the first of this region again.
Right. And have there been any examples or interest in the EEC, from WHA business point of view?
Sure. For WHA, since we have the industrial estate, right? We have we have the industrial estate in Thailand. We have 10 and 9 in EEC.
Oh, 9 in EEC.
We are the biggest about the industrial estate here and also about the logistics. If you know from the newspaper, we are the one that talk with the big group, even with Alibaba, anything for the logistics, or we are with about the aerospace, something about in the EEC, something like this. So that's why that we also interest a lot about the EEC. We need to make it happen, right? Mm-hmm.
Yes, I have to congratulate WHA Group and Ms.Jareeporn. I know you just signed a very big business agreement with Chinese investors in WHA. Can you tell us a bit more about that?
This is quite important. If you guys know a lot about trade war, right? And I think the trade war is not only trade war, it's trade war, tech war, and also about securities. So it's a long story, not just ended in the short. That's why, and this just from last year, normally for the British, our major client is Japanese. Allow nearly 40% is Japanese, but last year only from Chinese is allowed 43% from Chinese. Totally for last year, right? This means what happened because of trade war. I think that I will say that for trade war, this is really the important time because of this is the big move of investments of the world. Move out from China to where? Right? Where? So the first destination of China, both Chinese and non-Chinese that invest in China, the first destination is Southeast Asia, right?
So I would like to add just a few sentences. Yesterday, there has been announced from USA Business Councils that they're going to reinvest in Thailand during this time because of the trade war, those it is. But this is her opinion personally. In terms of the official one, we do not talk this one out loud because you do that, so you might be followed by United States to do something for you in the future. So that make it quiet in that way. We gain the benefit. That's fine. The second thing I would say is that in EEC, we help to promote the industrialization, the new technology, first curve and S curve, only within the industrial estate, like this one, like Saha that's one. So that we expected that to see some of the increased yield and dividends for both companies next year. The other one I would like to add is that the money that we're talking about, around 16 to 18 billion US dollars in the infrastructure in EEC do have the policy to promote that to be in the stock market, in the set, meaning that in form of infrastructure, in form of fundraising, those and this. But right now, the Thai bank that has to be shared on the lending of the money to this project already get a good benefit out of it.
I see. I agree that we're not making a big deal out of the relocation, but the fact is that when TDRI does its economic analysis, we also see a lot of relocation of companies from China into Thailand, and we find that the first country that they come to is actually Vietnam. Vietnam has received a lot of investments, but Thailand ranks number 2. So I'm not surprised when Ms.Jareeporn says there are also some interest, in the relocation into the industrial estates, especially WHA. Yes, which is why we don't want to, because Vietnam's already on the watch list. So, in that sense, I mean, it's a fact that they do come, and it's both Chinese and non-Chinese companies as well.
Yes, or it's a lot of opportunities here in Thailand, in the EC. Since we talk a lot with the Chinese, something like this, we also talk about the science park here. Even though now we are in the process to do about the high technology industrial estate. Because often, talk about the Thailand 4.0, we would like to move up our country to the technology. So the most important thing is how can we support for the technology, something like this. So that's why it's also very interesting to do more and more, not only the normal common industrial estate anymore.
Manufacturing, but also technology companies should be
coming
as well. Right. And we'll talk about the next phase of the EEC in the next round when we come back to Dr. Kanit, and if that will be more promoted. But first, I'd like to go to Vichai to seek your views as well. How do you see investments in the EEC based on Saha Pathana experience, and maybe a bit on we'll go for the EEC first. In the next round, we'll talk about other regions of Thailand.
Okay, thank you. As a Saha Group, we are in the area of Chonburi more than 45 years. We start the industrial estate before there is motorway, before there is EEC. So we understand the people in that area quite well. Our product, Mama, Farmhouse, or Miss Teen, I think everyone familiar with, because we invest for quite a long time. 45 years ago, in that area, maybe only Saha Group and Thai Oil that established the real sector in that area. And now, thanks to the government, the economic team, and also the office of EEC, Dr. Kanit lead quite well in the past few years. We are lucky in our generation. This is the first time in my life that the government, the cabinet, especially the previous cabinet under Dr. Somkit, worked very hard to issue the idea of EEC. It promotes the real sector. It promotes the quality of life in the city of Chonburi, Sriracha, and also in Rayong and Chachoengsao. I compare the EEC project as a pregnancy woman. Trimester, right? 9 months.
Already.
The first trimester already passed. EEC Act already approved. We okay. Now is second trimester, almost the third or the final trimester. Why I said it's a second trimester, because we wait for the master plan, the use of land, or we call a town planning act, or the city planning. When this come out, it will unlock the potential of EEC. All the infrastructure project that Dr. Kanit kindly explained, it will be realistic after the master plan of land use announced or approved by the cabinet next month. So we wait for that, for the concrete success of EEC project. And the third semester, the third trimester, now is not only the government policy. The policymaker already have done a very good job, but the final trimester have to depend on private sector. The company or the bidder that already win or already passed through the contract or joining the mega project should be delivered. Everything will benefit to Thai people. So it's not easy to deliver all the project as planned, but we believe after the city planning, after infrastructure happens in the field project, the confidence of investor will become more realistic. The trade war for me is only temporary. Today trade war, tomorrow another war, or tomorrow maybe the peaceful moment. But in terms of long-term sustainability for Thai people, we have to look which project is good for the long run, especially for the local people. When we move to the EEC, the Silacha people, the young people have to understand. So the participation of local people must be take into account for the policymaker and take time. So I think it's a very good policy, very good team, and benefit to the private sector and all the private sector. I think very happy to work together with the government to move on and make the country more sustainability very good in the long run.
I see. Thank you for all those recommendations. I think Vichai mentioned about the master land use plan, which is something on investors' mind in the next phase of EEC's development. Dr. Kanit, can you give more details on that and the timeline of that master land use plan?
Thank you very much. We do the land use planning and this one for 1.5 years already. It's not the new coming. It has been prepared by our intentions. Why so? Because when you do the area development and you cannot let it go organically, meaning that go by developed by anyone doing whatever they like, it's impossible. You need to have a plan. So the plan said that we will take the land of the rural area, that's called the rural area lands, around 8% to do other thing else. Around 3% is for develop into the new, not the rural city anymore, but the modern city. So that's a part of it. And another 3%, surprisingly, we use as a reservation land along the river, along the canal. So nobody can be able to get close to them anymore. So that costs us 3% of the land. And the land itself used for industries has increased by around 2%. You will be surprised that the industrial estate that we're talking about here in EEC nowadays, it has a ratio of the land use only 2% of the total land. What we have been done is increase from 2% to 4% around that one. Why are we doing that? That's just enough for us for that kind of land, because both of us has been discussed that we're going to go for the new technologies. We did not a lot of land, those and this, right? But anyway, before I'm working on the EEC, we do the survey. The land in the industrial estate has been left behind. Nobody want to use it. No investor. Surprisingly, around 20,000 right empty. So that when you do EEC, so that we can put some investor into that. But anyway, in the longer term, when we use all this land, you need new land. That's preparation for today, for tomorrow. It's not for today itself. So we have plenty of land today that we can fill in the new investor. But if you imagine if we have to go further, in the next 5 to 10 years, this land use will take around 20 years from now, right? We reserve this land for the future use, and that meaning that we are not allow industry to locate it in the area that not suitable to be industrialization zone. So the cluster concept and everywhere is on that. That's all the whole thing. We did it for the past, not I did actually is the land use planning of Thailand doing the work for us, and it would take 1.5 years completed already. After this, they will separate the big plan of the 3 provinces into the small 3 provinces plan according to their law. And the land use today that we plan, we're going to be submit to the cabinet early of next month.
Next month.
Yes.
Month.
Everything is ready, complete. But anyway, this is the preparation for our development in the next 20 years. Right. So we have to do it today.
This is for the future, exactly, but we have to start today. But I know that you've been meeting a lot of resistance as well on environmental issues and other issues such as water shortage. How are you addressing those for the future as
Yes,
well?
actually, they asked 15 questions, 5 from one political party, the other 10 from the local people. So we answer all of 15 questions in technicality. That's why we use that. We use this already understand.
Oh, I see.
It's just a matter of how we convincing them. But as you see, it's just focused in some area, some small area. It's not the whole plan. It's not the whole plan. The whole plan had been well supported by the governor, by the people in that area. But of course, this kind of big matter, so has some resistance. It's good. So it's checks and balance to us.
I see. So if I were to ask Ms.Jareeporn, other things that the EEC could do, to even boost it even more or make it even more attractive, I mean, what would be your recommendations for the EEC?
Just we have some.
Ms.Jareeporn has some slides that she has prepared.
Okay. I make this one because I just look through the EEC things. When this 2 year, when we talk with the investor about the EEC, I got 3 questions. The first thing is, can it happen? Can it implement? The second thing is last long. The third thing is, what about the people? Yeah, since the first one now, we have the act of EEC already. That's okay, it's last long, right? Implement. As Dr. Kanit just mentioned that's we also passed through about the process of bidding about the important infrastructure, about the 5 project right, or the process, right? The third one, the people. Because we said that we are moving up to the technology S-curve and new S-curve, right? So how can we prepare the people, our laborers, to that thing or not? That's the thing that what I concern. And these other investors also concerned because of when they are invest here, that means they need a lot of support, not only the infrastructure, not only for the privilege. The most important thing is about the labor. I always say that Thailand have the best skilled labor in this regional. But right now, if we would like to move up to technology, skilled labor, not enough. It needs to be like about the I would say that knowledgeable laborers, or we move up to the high values like thing. That means if we cannot prepare this thing, how can we going up to the new S-curve, right? This is the most concern for the investor and for most concern for us too. That's why the first rate that we can have about the tax, personal income tax for the specialist to work here with about the very low, like about 17% something for the personal income tax, and with the work permits, with the fast tax, something like this. This is the first step that we have and also have the knowledge transfer. And the second thing that's quite concerned is about the innovations. If we would like to move up the country like this, we all say that Thailand invests really low about the research or innovations. But right now, I think that is the big things that we need to think, right? And this is not only for the private sector to do by ourselves. I need support from the government too. We need to work parallel together because it has a lot of university here. But about the education, how can we move together something? For the university, how it's university why you need to compete each other, why you need to go together, and then get some about the knowledge or something like this. So we need to move forward. Otherwise, the problem is how can we go like that?
That's right. Thank you for those. Maybe Dr. Kanit, you want to respond before I then go to Kun Vichai. Dr. Kanit, issues of human resource and also, even though there's an act, right? Will it survive the next few governments?
I would say to Dr. Cook like this. One thing is that when we do the EEC and we much underestimate is the human resources problem. When we do the first survey, we just have a big surprise that the people in the area that has the bachelor degree has been unemployed or underemployed. You guess how much? 200,000 people in the area, 3 provinces only. What we produce today in the university, 50% are unemployed. So that meaning that we do on the supply side and never look back, that's what kind of job they're going to get. This is the realities. Then in the past 2 years, one thing that we have been done very hard is on the human resources. The first thing to do is on the vocational training, those and this have to be there. Then as I said, because of this, whenever the company, no matter Thai or foreign, has the privilege from BOI or from EC, you have to do the human resource training with us. That's compulsory. As Kun Jun mentions cleverly, is that when you do the technologies, technology is human. Technology is people, is knowledge. It's not the machine or anything. If you ask me what I worry most about doing EEC is that in the next 5 years, you need not to worry. We can have the infrastructure in place. We can bring investor coming in. But they're going to last long or not depend on whether you can do on human resources or not. If the Thai people do not bring themselves up to catch the new technology and carry forward, the EEC will generate growth around 1.5 to 2% in the next 5 years, sure, believe me. But after that, it's not guaranteed. It depends on how can we have the new generation to come and carry on the EEC in the new life. And that's most fearsome to me.
Right, and it's also a part of the private sector to play as well in this human resource development.
What we did is that the Prime Minister already speak the word that the government will not promote any university or educational in whatever. That's have the training class or have the degree and not have work. That's one thing. Then we work with the Ministry of Education, Ministry of Labor. What we call is demand-driven kind of training.
Private sector.
Meaning that the company in June, in WHA, in Saha, that's going to do the work, has to identify what kind of demand they have. In EEC itself, we do the demand estimation for the next 5 years. Surprisingly, 400,000 job, good pay job will be there, right? Then we start one by one to take who's going to do those, who's going to do this work with BOI. And as I said, if you talk about today, what's the most troublesome problem is the education, right? Then we have to change. And if you not compete this session in the first 5 years, so EEC engines might not last long.
I see. So there's a challenge there as well. But you think future governments would still endorse the EEC?
So far we have been a good support. We have been good support, but a lot of work has to be done. Actually, Kun Si already mentions about good daughter. I'm not that pregnant woman, but it's the baby. EEC is a baby of everyone. You should say that. Then you guys has a job to do. Don't look at me alone, right? If you can do training the people in the field, please do. If you can have some engines to do the work on the training, please do. The country needs you very much, actually.
This is a collective effort that every stakeholder in the country should. It's not only the government's.
Government agencies just do their work.
I see. So turning to Kun Vichai, I know you've been working not only in the EEC, but also in regions outside where Saha has the industrial estates as well. I'd like you to share some of those opportunities to some of the investors here who might not know about those regions as well as the EEC.
Okay. In our Saha group, we may not as big as the WHA. The WHA already expand to Vietnam, to many countries. But we quite focus in Thailand. So we start to find the location that we can produce the good product at the reasonable cost to supply to Thai people. 45 years ago, we started in Chonburi because in Bangkok it's already expensive 45 years ago. Then our chairman, Kun Bunyasit, moved to another location, Kabinburi, Lamphun, and also Mesot in the last 30 years. So we can see the improvement of infrastructure and people mind. People in many areas of Thailand, they welcome industry, they welcome more investor, and we talk about special economic zone many times in the border area of Thailand. Saha Group, if I can recommend, I can say that the Mesot area can be the next potential. EEC is a huge area, have a big petrochemical and many industry already. But Mesot, we have a big potential customer, potential consumer from Myanmar, from India. And it's only a border city that have a very big airport. Soon the new development and the expansion of Mesot airport will be finished. And also the land transportation, the new bridge next to the Mesot is Mewadi, also very high potential.
So what kinds of industries or businesses are potential in Mesot?
In Mesot, right? Right now, most of the labor intensive. Very easy to establish in Mesot because the labor from Myanmar, when they come to Thailand, they are very happy, good or better quality of life, and we welcome them as a good citizen of Mesot. We consider them not a foreigner, but as a member, as one of the big population in Mesot. So they work as a Thai people, and they work in the job that now Thai people doesn't want to work. So textile industry already established in Mesot, and also more high tech, more low cost and more logistic, because in Myanmar a lot of seafood coming from open sea, and they use Mesot as a gateway to the restaurant in Bangkok. Most of the lobster come from Myanmar. So I think Myanmar, Thailand will be more and more collaboration, and Mesot will be the gateway in the near future. Also Lamphun and Chiang Mai, they will have the new airport. So I think for the handicraft product, that jewelry product that can export to global market, Lamphun and Chiang Mai also very interesting area to invest, as well as the people in northern part of Thailand, very nice investor. When they come to Thailand, they feel very comfortable to live in northern part of Thailand. So I will focus on Mesot and Lamphun, if you consider out of EEC.
Out of EEC, and I know Kun Vichai's industrial estate is more like than industrial. It's a community. You have temples in there for people to go to as well. So that's very encouraging. Kun Jareeporn.
Just I would like to add more, Kun Vichai, and to ask Ajahn Kanit about this about the outside EEC. Can we do more on the north, right? This and northeastern because of Udon or Nong Khai connect with the BRI, right? And also EEC and Southern Economic Corridor. I'm not sure that if we connect the four parts together, should be like about the cover on the country or not.
Will there be other ECs in the
There are
country?
two dimensions now that has, the first dimension is ongoing, is that we use the EEC as a part of connectivity to our neighboring countries. Now, for example, what we're going to do is that when we have the Lamsabang deep sea port, it's going to link with the dry port in China, in Laos, in Myanmar, in Cambodia, in Vietnam. So use this port as a regional port. When we do the airport in Utapao, it's not the local airport. It's linked to the three airport, all right? But we're going to have the connectivity with China. That's what they said, the Zhengzhou. We are in the process to work with the Philippine airport, Clark Airport, and those things to make connectivities in EEC as a part of it. But anyway, the most important part that we say is that if we have the route to EEC to southern China, so that's going to be a lot more of area development nearby. The second dimension, as we said, EEC is the experimental zone.
Right.
Meaning that we try to do something that never done before in the country in this area.
it's like
if
a
it's
sandbox.
worthwhile, yes, if it's worthwhile, so it can be expanded to other area, northeastern part, northern part. They already talk about the southern economic corridor. They're talking about the Andaman Sea tourist destination, those things. So let's EEC work on the legal and everything for a while. After it's settled, so we can expand to other places.
Right? So this is wonderful. I'm looking at the timer, and there's no more time left. So I hope for this session, you have heard about a lot of opportunities for investing in different regions in Thailand, especially EEC. Yes, we have many challenges that we still need to address, but there are also many opportunities and potential to be harvested here. So please join me to thank all the three panelists by giving them a big hand. Thank you so much.
So thank you to her as well.
Thank you.